Hey everybody, welcome back to the Country Living Homestead. Today I'm going to set up and install the Producers Pride Universal Poultry Pen from Tractor Supply. So stay tuned. Okay, so if your homestead is anything like ours, we are constantly getting more chickens. And we're always wondering, where are we going to put them? So we ended up going and bought a Tractor Supply. It's made by Producers Pride. It's the Universal Poultry Pen. It's 8 foot by 8 foot. So we're going to be setting that up today. As you can see, we've got our silver Appleyard ducks right here behind me. So we're going to be setting them up kind of like in this back corner here to give them some extra protection too. So that's kind of the idea. So we're going to get to it and see how this thing works. Okay, so here's what this bad boy looks like when you take it out of the package. We were fortunate enough that the Tractor Supply that we went to actually had one in stock that was brand new. It was still in the wrapper. So, which that actually made us very happy, because most of the time when you go to Tractor Supply, they have these set up outside and they get all rusted up, or they could be sitting inside where they have their chick days. So you're basically getting a used poultry pen. So rather than buying a used poultry pen, it's always good to see if they do have a brand new one available. And we were fortunate enough to find one. So here are the pieces once you take them out. It's currently in the back of my trailer right now because it's much easier for me to just drive my trailer out here rather than carrying each individual piece. So, but it actually is very sturdy. I mean, definitely with the way supplies are these days and the amount that everyone is paying for them, it's certainly worth the money, and it seems very durable. I like how the squares here on the lower part are a lot smaller than the ones up top. So that definitely allows you to keep some smaller birds inside the pen, and it'll still protect them. The only thing that I'm noticing so far is there's a pretty large gap where the door is at. And that's got me a little worried as far as chick size. So if you got some smaller chicks, this isn't going to be good right out of the gate. So you're definitely going to have a larger chick so they can't get out of those areas. And I also noticed too, when you're actually connecting these pieces together, that it also gives a pretty large gap between the two. So what I'm probably going to do is just take some welded wire fence and just kind of wrap it around and zip tie it, so that way we can kind of enforce that and also give a better protection for the smaller birds when we put them in there. Eventually, this is going to be holding our breast chickens. So we are getting ready to hatch out some breasts. They are going to be our meat chickens. So the benefits of those breast chickens, they do basically, they breed to the point where you know exactly what you're getting. So when you get an egg, if you hatch it, you're going to have a breast. And those are extremely, extremely popular birds over in France. So we decided to go with those. That's what's going to be holding them in right here. And for right now, before those hatch though, we also do have some copper Morans. So we've got a bunch of those. They're going to be going into this pen first. So they're going to kind of use it up until the breasts get larger after they hatch. And then the Morans are going to go to our other coop, and then the breasts will take this over. So for right now, I'm just setting up this pen, give them some cover, probably put like a large dog crate in there just to allow them to have a space, you know, kind of a safe space. So that's kind of the idea so far. But enough talk, let's get to putting this thing together. Okay, so that's what we're putting together today, the Producers Pride Universal Poultry Pen. It is the extra large run, and it says it's predator resistant. Fingers crossed that's the case. So I'm going to assume these are for the top, just a couple pipes with some quick release buttons on there. So we got some instructions. And these are probably the clamps that hold everything together, and a whole bunch of hardware. Holy moly, a whole bunch of hardware. All right, I mean, it looks pretty cut and dry. Doesn't look too difficult to put together. It looks like they're putting the corner panels first. So we're going to grab a corner panel, get that put together, and move right along. Okay, so what you're going to need is a 17mm socket to do this job, or you can do a 17mm wrench if you're feeling froggy, but I'm going to use a ratchet and socket because it's a lot easier. Okay, we're looking good so far. Time to grab another piece here and grab a couple more brackets, a couple more bolts, and a couple more nuts. I will say, if you're putting this up by yourself, it's not easy to be able to get it level, because when you move it, the brackets move, they shift. So if you got a second set of hands, might not be a bad idea to grab them. So let's get this other piece put on and get this going. Okay, so I just wanted to show you this one side piece here. It's different than all the rest. As you can see, it's got a couple screws and nuts there. So what that's designed for is you can actually take out that whole panel, so that way you can attach your chicken coop to the run, which is awesome. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So the plan is I'm going to put their coop probably right off to the side right here. So I'm going to use that panel right here, and that should work out pretty well. So let's get it put up. And I gotta say, folks, these bugs are absolutely destroying me out here today. So it's not easy, but I'm pushing through. Okay, so the frame is built. I'm actually very happy with this. It's a lot larger than what it looks like when it's in the store. but we got all the sides up. So that's all done. So now the really nice thing about these poultry pens is they actually have a roof. It has a metal roof, which is awesome because then you can put like a tarp or something over it, and then you can keep like snow and rain out of here. So that's a great feature. So I'm not so sure how easy it is going to be to install. I will say that the overall frame wasn't too bad. The most difficult part was making sure everything was level. And I'm sure if you had a second set of hands, it would probably be easier, but wifey is taking care of the lawn right now and doing some garden work. So here I am working on this by myself and finally got the frame up. So it's looking good. So let's see what we got to do to get the rooftop on. Okay, so to put the roof on, it actually looks pretty easy. And that's what these are for. So basically, you just take one of these and it goes into the end and connects them together. And then you just kind of lay it up there, fasten it, and you're good to go. So let's see how this works and make it happen. What I'm gonna do is I wanna make sure that they're already pre-fastened to the roof panels. So I'm just gonna make sure that when I put these together, that both of them are facing down. So that way, whenever I lay it up there, it's just gonna lay up, and then it can kind of stay up there until I get everything put together. Okay, so a couple things that I'm seeing. So these clamps right here, one side is made to be larger because of a larger tube here, and one side is made to be smaller for this tube here. Now, I put it on backwards, it wouldn't tighten up, and I was like, hey, why isn't it tightening it up? And then I figured out I had to switch it around. Now, part two of that is I also realized if I'm going to be putting a tarp on top of this, I probably don't want this screw head to be protruding out like that, because chances are it's probably going to tear it. So hence why I did the bolt head like this time. So that should work out a little bit better. And I just got to take that bolt out and redo it. No big deal. Okay, got it all installed. It's assembled, ready to rock and roll. And you know what? They were so nice that they gave me one extra nut. Look at that. One extra nut, just in case if I would have lost something. Other than that, no other spare parts. Gotta love it. So there you have it, folks. the assembly of the Producers Pride Universal Poultry Pen. We picked this up at Tractor Supply, and I will definitely say 10 out of 10 right now. So, I mean, the assembly wasn't too bad to get it all set up. Didn't take me too long. But as far as the durability, I mean, this thing is awesome. Like, there's nothing getting in here. So, got the roof covered, which is cool. The only thing that I'm kind of wondering on is, of course, with the amount of snow load that we get here in northern New York, I'm hoping that when I put a piece of tarp on here, that once it's covered, it doesn't collapse in on me. But I don't think it's going to, as long as we keep it cleared off. But I think this is going to work out really well. So thanks for watching. We greatly appreciate you stopping by the homestead here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.